nickel for every time we've said, thank goodness we participated in Venture Atlanta. We probably wouldn't have needed to raise capital. It was a great conference for us. Incredibly well run, far exceeded expectations. And we had over 10 follow-up conversations from the conference itself. We got 2 term sheets, and we are in the process of closing a round with one of the companies that we met at Venture Atlanta. Also, we've had another company that we met there approach us about funding us in a roll-up strategy. So we're already on to our next round. And all of this came from our participation in Venture Atlanta. So it certainly was a fantastic experience for us and very worthwhile participating. If you're thinking about doing it, definitely do it. I guess I'll launch into the pitch part now. Rentwiki is a social rental search website, and I'll tell you more about what that means in a bit. One of the biggest strengths that we have as a company is our team. We've started 5 successful businesses together, and some of those businesses include leading websites like apartmentguide.com and rentals.com. The opportunity that we saw in this space was really twofold. On the renter side, there are 100 million renters in the U.S., 40 million of them move every year. Renters primarily are 18 to 35 years old, and they're heavy users of Facebook and Twitter, and peer recommendations are a big factor in their decision-making process. So what Rentwiki does is it allows renters to come in and talk about what it's like to live in a certain area. What is there to do? What's the social life like? What are the people like? We bring in tweets about that neighborhood so you can see what people are saying on Twitter. And you can contact other renters who live in the area and get advice. So it's basically bringing a lot of social media content into the rental search process. The industry is a $1.6 trillion industry, and the opportunity we saw there is there were really only 2 advertising models, subscription-based and pay-per-lease. And our clients for years have been asking us for a pay-per-lead model, which is exactly what we are. The market is pretty large. Spending is expected to be about $2.7 billion on apartment advertising in 2011, and it's really rapidly moving away from print. There's still $1 billion being spent in print in this market, but it's shifting to online, and so online is expected to reach about $1 billion in 2011. Hold on. Okay. The industry, there are 17 million rental properties in the U.S., and that's just in the U.S. But it's a very difficult industry to penetrate. This is a pretty low-margin business. The people are, they're understaffed, overworked, and generally they really don't want to try a new product unless you have a relationship and some sort of credibility. They've just seen too many things come and go and not be successful in the category. So that's been our biggest advantage and how we've been able to get traction is we have those relationships and we already have that credibility in the space. So how does it work? Essentially, we go out on the web and advertise on Google and Yahoo, and we get free traffic from search engine optimization, and we pay per click, and we have affiliate relationships and partnerships where we do revenue share type of deals to get traffic to come to rentwiki.com. Once the user is there, they're going to search for an apartment. When they see 1 or 2 or 3 that they like, they're going to contact that apartment by either calling them or emailing them through the site. And every time that happens, that creates a lead. And we sell those leads to clients like Post and Gables, who are both here in Atlanta. We have clients all over the country, and we sell those leads to them. And we generally sell them, well, at the time it was $10 to $15. We're up to $12 a lead now. Our average cost is about $3, and generally one user will create about 5 to 6 leads. That's interesting. Okay. Well, you can't see most of this slide, but there's really only 2 keys to our financial success. 1, we have to get properties who want to buy leads, and 2, we have to generate those leads profitably. On the buying leads part, we're up to about $676,000 in monthly revenue potential, which means that our clients have agreed to buy $676,000 of leads from us each and every month. And we've got over 1 million apartment units buying leads from us on the site today. On a driving leads profitably perspective, we've gotten as low as $2.02 on a cost per lead basis, and we generally consistently are beating our plan in terms of keeping that cost per lead low. Really, the key to our long-term competitive advantage, though, is that content that we're generating, all of that user-based content. No one else is out there doing it right now, and that puts a lot of distance between us and our competition. And our content has grown by about 325% since we launched. From a financial plan perspective, we've exceeded our plan every single month that we've been in business. And fortunately, there haven't been a lot of assumptions in our plan because we've been doing this for 12 years. So you might be wondering how we're going to get from $200,000 in revenue to $5 million in revenue this year. And essentially, that's not showing up either. Essentially, that's okay. Essentially, $2 million in investment buys about 400,000 leads, which is $4 million in revenue. And 20% of our traffic, really 40% of our traffic is free, but using a conservative 20% assumption, that's another million. So that's how we get to 5.1. We've been beating this plan and expect to continue to do so. We've raised $2.3 million to date, and we were looking for $2 to $5 million to get to break even. We are still on track to hit break even this year, most likely in early Q3. And those funds are basically going to be used for driving traffic to fulfill lead orders that we actually already have. So in summary, I'd like to leave you with 4 points. One, we have a very highly experienced team. This is a large market that is rapidly moving away from traditional media sources, and it's difficult to penetrate, but we've made a lot of traction there. And finally, we have a very capital efficient market. That's it.
Good morning. I'm Todd Mannik. I'm with Tangelo. Our experience at Venture Land, are you doing the CAP Venture program again this year?
We'll be, yeah.
Excellent. We didn't go the normal route. We didn't submit our business plan to everyone to be able to be picked from. We actually snuck in, if you will. We actually went through the CAP Venture program, and by winning CAP Venture, we got to be able to present over at the Venture Atlanta program. That scared me to death, to be honest. I mean, here we were in a smaller group looking at angels, and all of a sudden then you were able to be on the super stage over at the W Hotel at the Venture Atlanta program, and it was an incredible experience. We actually got on that national stage. So in this case, instead of just the angel network, if you will, inside of Atlanta, we were actually on the national stage where we were getting calls from the folks in Boston, some folks in Silicon Valley, things like that. So the entrepreneurs here don't think that you have to be on a huge level submitting programs. If you come through the CAP Venture program, it actually is very, very worthwhile. Even though we weren't seeking venture funding at the time, it was an incredible experience. I went to the first Venture Atlanta conference physically just to see what it was all about, and I was extremely impressed. I met a lot of you guys there just because it's a great community. I mean, I was just shaking hands and going, this is really neat. You got to be a part of this program. And just to be able to present there was fantastic this past year. So I'm going to present here again. Again, this is part of this neat experience. We get to present again in front of this group, which is fantastic. But we get to tell you about a little bit more about Tangelo, what we do. I want to make sure I get this right. Tangelo is actually a patented platform. We connect online users, content creators, and marketers in one place. And it all starts with an image. This is user-generated content. You can find this image today on Flickr. It does a great job of being an image, but all I can do is just look at it. What I want to do is get inside this image. I want to explore and discover the people, the places, even the products. Well, if this was a Tangelo image, I could actually purchase that top right off the image for my wife. Now my wife's happy, so I must be happy. And the Gap, if you notice, the Gap is selling that product. Well, the Gap is blown away because they just sold a $35 top from someone's vacation picture. What about the shorts, the sunglasses, the camera? Absolutely. We'd all like to go to a warmer place today, so why don't we book a trip to the Four Seasons Resort in the Indian Ocean, and I think we're all doing great. That's user-generated content. What about images that are branded? This image actually was created to inspire all of us to drive sales. So let Tangelo take that inspiration and turn it into action. From the range, the flooring, the backsplash, even the cabinetry. Images are the new commerce. But we take this one giant step forward. This image, with all of its interactivity, with all of its relationships, is actually movable and shareable across the internet. It's actually a widget. You can actually embed this image on any website, any blog, email it to your family and friends, post it on your Facebook. So now this one very powerful image becomes thousands of opportunities to drive sales. And that user-generated content piece from before, it's a widget too. So now shared across the internet to thousands of places. So now this one fan of a brand becomes your marketing army, and that's game-changing. Of course, the trends, I guess this slide used to be green. It's beautiful red today, but the trends are all in our favor, of course. The online broadband right now is at 80% in the U.S. Photo sites, social sites, blogs are all up double and triple digits. We are all online, and 65% of us are buying online. And images today, well, there's billions of them online, billions. Facebook users alone upload and post over 1 billion images every month. Inside those images are the hundreds of thousands of brands that pay to be part of this conversation. We actually know these brands specifically because we already make their images interactive online today inside of traditional media platforms such as Shop Vogue, Esquire Marketplace, Departures Desire and Acquire. We work with Family Circle to Vibe, to Ladies Home Journal to yachting. We've been mentioned in the media, highlighted, been given awards, but most importantly are our brand relationships. We have hundreds of them, hundreds of the most popular brands in the world, and they need Tangelo today. Is there competition in the marketplace? A few have crept in lately. They do not have a tool for all users. They do not have widgets. They don't have our brand relationships, and they certainly don't have our intellectual property. Our go-to-market strategy is fairly simple. It's converting those brand relationships we have today into the Tangelo product. We already have converted our magazine clients into the Tangelo product on a reseller agreements. I have over 100 highly qualified sales reps now on Madison Avenue and around the world talking about the Tangelo product to their brands through our reseller agreements. Our product is built and validated. We are leveraging those brand relationships today. We have 2 approved patents, 2 still pending patents, and 1 new provisional. We are seeking $750,000 to expand our sales force, to go to the marketplace and use the leverage we have with our brands today. We are taking the marketplace. The product, again, is Tangelo, where images are the new commerce. I invite everyone to go to tangeloimages.com. It is free, it's easy, it's fun. Please go there today and sign up. Again, my name is Todd Mannik, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Todd.